Mark Nielsen, DeRoche last year, a couple of overagers. You get 4 more here today. Why the trend towards overagers looking forward to the future?
You know what, like the Brooks boy, I mean, we really believe in his skill and his talent, and you know what, we just watch what we see. We think they can still develop more, and they still got more upside. And you know, in this business of scouting, it's different times that people get better, and we really believe some of these kids that are going to get better at a certain time, and that's how we look at it.
Was adding size a priority with some of these bigger guys you picked?
Yeah, we added some size. I mean, the Greenaway boy's a big boy, and Matt and the kid's a big boy. So it's, and we believe they got some good skills. And Milton kid, who's a big, strong kid. So we'll need some time, of course, but we can put them away, and hopefully they develop as hockey players.
What did you like about the guy you got at 31 there, the Russian kid?
Korshkov? Well, you know what? I see him in the World Juniors. I'm sure some of you guys see him too. Big, strong guys, good skills. Evgeny Neskakov, who does some scouting for the Leafs, he coached him all year. He's the one who pushed Shoshnikov, and so to me it was a no-brainer. But we'll see. You know, he's got to get better, of course. He's got to get stronger, and we think he's got a good upside.
Seems like you guys are more involved in Russia than some of the other teams around the league. Do you see that as an opportunistic place? Or?
I don't know. I think we're going to take the best player available, and at that time, we believe them players were the best players available. So that's how we looked at it.
Madden fly under the radar, potential gem in the future, possibly.
Yeah, you know what? He got hidden in the Memorial Cup. We had a good team. Knew him, drafted him, and so I feel good about his upside. He's a big, strong kid that just needs a little bit of time, of course, and he'll get ice time next year to show how good he is.
BC has a good program. I'm talking about your goaltender. Can you talk about that and also the chance, as some of your picks have done, to go to the OHL?
Yeah, you know what? Brian DeCourt, who has been doing some scouting for us in the goaltending side, really loved this goalie, and we really believe he's on an upward swing. I mean, he's a big 6'3". He's going to a good program to play in Boston, and we like him. We think he's athletic, and he's mentally he's very strong mentally.
Where do you see Korshkov playing next year, Mark?
I mean, he's going to play in the KHL.
Okay.
He played in the KHL this year. There's no issues there. We will let him develop. It's a good league, so it's just a matter of when he's ready to. Hopefully, when he comes over here, he's ready to step in our lineup.
How about Adam Brooks?
Brooks, we'll have to wait and see at our camp and see how he looks, see how he feels, and hopefully he gets a little bit stronger, and we'll go from there. But somebody will give an opportunity to play. But if it's better for his development to go back to the Western Hockey League, we'll do what's best for him.
What did you like about him, given that he's been passed over a couple times?
You know what? Every time you went and seen him, I mean, we talk about these 96s, and you try to keep away from him. Of course, everybody wants to draft a 98, but he brought it every night. Very competitive player, very intelligent. Is somebody that willed his team into winning hockey games, and I mean, their team went to the 7 games against Red Deer, and he was one of the main reasons. And they had a very young team, and he was one of the older guys that led the way.
Maybe the same question for Jack Walker.
Jack Walker is he's very fast, can shoot. We really believe his speed. It's exceptional. And the other one, he's played D for the last 2 years before that, so he's year and a half now he's been at forward, so really believe there's more upswing with his offensive ability.
You've got a number of guys from the U.S. Development team. Can you talk about the progress of that program?
You know what? It's a good program. I mean, I think everybody, I mean, I bet you almost every player on their team got drafted, so kudos to them, and it was something that we liked some of the players that was coming out of there, so we stepped up and drafted them.
The Swede can you just say a few words about Carl Grönström, the Swede that you drafted?
Pardon?
The Swede that you drafted,
Yes.
Carl? Just say a few words about what you like.
Yeah, you know what? To me, he's like a Gallagher, and he's spunky, plays hard two-way game. He's tough. It's the one game I went and seen him or 2 games I seen him in the pro. The first time I got there, I don't know, it was some up in northern Sweden. First shift, he gets kicked out. He hits guys some from behind. I'm like, oh darn, that's not great to drive all this way and fly all this way. And so, anyways, he's a gritty player, smart player. I think he's a Komarov kind of player.
Great weekend for your scouts. Were you surprised you got to keep all 10 picks today?
Yeah, you know what? You never know what's going to happen at draft day, and that's kind of Lou's department. And I'm just making sure I get the players that we want to draft and ready to go.
Your department invested a lot in today, including Austin. Can you talk about overall how you feel the day went?
I mean, we all, every NHL team talk about how good they've drafted, but we feel good about it. But we all know we got to develop these young men and give them time to spread their wings. But we feel good. We got a little more size today. I mean, with Korshkov and Greenaway, and these kids are big, strong kids, and got to give them time to be hockey players.
What's across the board? There seemed more overage kids picked today than I can ever remember. Why do you think that is?
Well, I just, you see a kid like the Brooks and the Walker boy, you know, when you go see Regina play, they dominated, and I think everybody's saying, oh, we got to take a guy that's got 15 points, but we got a guy sitting there that's got 120 points and leader of the team, and so I think everybody's making decisions now. These kids still got more upside, a guy like Brooks and Walker, and so I think they're stepping up and taking the guys who are the best players on their team.
You ever seen that before? With this, I mean, the numbers were large today.
Yes, it was. You're right. There was a lot of 96s being drafted, and it's a trend right now.
What's next for you, Mark? Do you get a chance to breathe tonight for the first time?
Well, we got free agency coming up right now, so we all know that, and I'm sure Lou will be working hard on that.
What aspects does Keaton Middleton have to work on in this game? I mean, he's big, he's got his range, but what else does he have to
You know what? He defends very well. He's a big, strong kid. You know, one of the tougher kids we believe in the draft, and so of course he's got to make quicker puck decisions, and if he can do that, I mean, there's a good upside here on his will.
And 7th round pick?
Yes.
What can you...
He's a big, strong kid. Our scouts liked him. Ari, he wanted him, and our European guys, so Tommy, so we stepped up and took him, and he's at KHL camp right now. So it's a young man that we think he thinks he has good upside.
Now you've got to find enough jerseys for development camp yet again.
Yes, we do. Yeah, you know what? We had a lot of draft picks here today, and it's a good day for the organization when you can make that many picks, and hopefully we can get some players.
How many of these guys do you think will come to the July camp, and how important will that first step be for them?
You know what? You got to be hopefully all of them, but maybe the one Washington boy, maybe not. But we'll see. I mean, everyone sounds good right now, but that could change.
And how important is that camp for that first step for these guys down the road to become?
I think it's good for them to be here and want them to be here, but at the end of the day, if they're trying out for a KHL team, and the KHL team wants to make teams, so you got to have some common sense here and let them make their club what they're going to play on next year.
Mark, I know you're not the general manager, but how do you assess trade talks right now? Any chance of any player movement before July 1st?
Well, that's, you know, every hockey team's working on thing in the National Hockey League, trying to make some trades and stuff, but that's up to Lou. He's got a hold of it, and he's got tons of experience, and he'll be ready to go.